The child wanted to come, they got to come to the monthly meeting. And he decided that he would come here because a lot of times you can't get them. I've even made it to whereas, and I made the agreement with the school, when there's a PTA, we close. Because I didn't want them to use that as an excuse of not going to the PTA meeting. So normally they try to center around the PTA a program. Well, we also attend their programs. So we go to Saturday classes because we need to be able to show them and understand what they're doing in the manner that they're learning so that we can help them when it comes down to their homework and to their testings. And we do spelling tests and math beats and things of that nature. But I also thought it was important that they have some type of enrichment. Our school and no play is kind of boring. So we also had, for 3 years, we did sign language because I wanted them to be able to go into the community, and if they saw someone that was speaking with their hand, not look at them as if they were strange or not make fun, but be able to understand, okay, that's sign language that they're doing. And then maybe understand some of the words that they were saying. So we had someone who was graduating from UNCG that came for 3 years and volunteered to teach the children sign language. We also do drama. I was excited that we, on the laptop, at your leisure or before you leave, I have, we did a wax museum for Black History one year. And we also do liturgical dancing and do jazzercise and to introduce them to things that they ordinarily would not do. We will be going to the play, The Lost Shepherd, some of the children. We also go bowling, so we do a field trip as well. And all of this had been pretty much sponsored. We may sell, I'll go to Sam's and buy things, and it paid for us to go bowling. And we sell it to the kids. Before they leave, they're buying, they're using their own money. But we have Girl Scout that comes and partners with us. We've currently started partnering with Goodwill to be able to provide us with job leaves for our parents. So when they come to the parent meeting with the parent engagement, they also go back, take away something that will benefit them in the community to be able to continue on being successful. So our mission is to provide, foster a healthy, educational environment, not just for the children, but also for the parents as well. We're that support system. I don't know if you remember 2 years ago, about a year and a half ago, the child that drowned over in Salem Crest, that was one of our babies. So on the way to the hospital, the mother called us, called me and was like, Aquadre drowned. Miss Shawn and I stayed at, the hospital every day until they took him off. She didn't go home. Had my husband to bring our clothes to the hospital. Just last week, we have a child that's not even here anymore. She's coming back because she's going to need us. That's in middle school, and her grandmother called and said her mom was dying and they had given up and wanted her to go to hospice. And she said, she needs you all. I know she's going to shut down. That evening, Miss Shawn and I, back at Baptist, going to the hospital to be with the baby. So I said to Miss Shawn, there's no way that we could support these children and not support the families. I mean, it has become not just an outreach for us, but it's actually have become our ministry in terms of helping the kids. So we're currently in the first phase of partnering with Winston-Salem State, who has a middle and high school program. And what we're going to do with them is kind of bridge our elementary children into their middle and high school program that they have. They're going to provide us with some one-on-one mentors of their honor students and assist us with our homework. We're working out how they're going to get here. Some of them has vehicles, so there's some other things, fine-tuning that we need to do. So we're looking forward to expanding the program for the summer. to at least 50 children. Right now, we kind of serve between 20. Last year we had, I think, 27. And as they started to move and things of that nature, we still stayed around that 23 to 25 students, but we kept it low because that's what I could afford to. The church has had to agree to take up the expense of our teacher. So Miss Hannah came over and we decided to have a teacher to provide the tutoring that knew exactly that would be on that same curriculum that the school is on to help the students. So that's where we are. That's who we are. And if you all have any questions for us that we can answer.
I had a question. So I asked the parents who were here how they became aware of this program, and most of them said that it was either word of mouth or from the child's school. So do you contact, what's the relationship that you have with the schools, and how do you determine, or how do they determine that they want to make a referral?
Well, I left it up to the school in terms of who they felt needed it. And the first couple of years, a lot of the children that we dealt with were 1 to 2 years behind in their reading. And I sought the advice from my children's teacher in the elementary school, who's now retired, and said, okay, I need to help them. How am I going to do this? Because they're reading on kindergarten and first and second grade levels. And she said, Woods, in order to go forward, you got to go backwards. And that's what we did. They kind of sent us those. And now we have a mix of children. This year, they're not as in need of academics as it had been in the past. But a lot of it is social that we're working with now. We have a fourth grader that reads like on a kindergarten level. So we work with them. We try and meet them at their level that they are. So we work closely with the parent engagement leader there and with the curriculum coordinator. And the teachers. If they come and tell me, oh, Miss C, we don't have homework. Okay, Miss C's getting on the phone and calling the teacher. Right. We go back to, or I left my homework at school and we head to the school with them. Okay, that's the convenient thing of them being around the corner. Okay, well, let's go get it. You know, so we work closely with the schools as well as the teachers.
So if they're academically maybe struggling, or if they have behavioral issues,
the same thing. If I'm at the school, most times if I see one of the children in the office, Dr. Little was saying, oh, Miss C is here. Oh, well, tell Miss C what you're doing. But we also work with them where if they get suspended because they like coming, if they're suspended from school, they can't come here either. So we do work closely together with the school, and it helps them. I had one young lady, she said, Miss C, why do children always have to apologize to the adults? And they never apologize. I said, well, you know, that's a good point you're making. So I'll tell you what. No, she said, say I'm sorry. She said, why do we have to say I'm sorry all the time? She hated saying I'm sorry. I said, I'll tell you what. Why don't you just say I apologize? She said, oh, I could do that.
She would not say sorry.
No, she hated saying I'm sorry. So we kind of work with any of the issues and try to be there as a support with them. If we find inconsistency in grades, I took it right back to the school and said, hey, the number grade says this, the letter grade says this. What's the problem with it? Because we got to be able to explain it to the parent when they come and ask me. So.
Are you all working with any other schools outside Ibrahim?
We do, but if they're not at Ibrahim, they have to make sure that they get here. So we have some. We also work with them if they have Crosby scholars that need volunteer hours. We have them come and listen to the elementary students read, and it helps them as well. We had them from Southeast, Peachtree, Walkertown,
Paisley,
and Rural Hall.
Northwest
The
Mill.
parents have to provide that transportation?
Yes.
Otherwise, Ibrahim will drop the kids off?
No, we picked them up.
Oh, you are?
We picked them up, and the first year we dropped them off within a 5-mile radius. And then the next year we said, we're gonna charge $1 a day. And the parents said, oh, I'll come pick mine up. I said, oh, good, okay. So that helped. So we only take home usually 3 children. In most cases, we take home 3, and 2 of them are siblings. Last year was our first year where we had several siblings from one family that came. So this year, we only have, I think, 1. No, we have 2 families that have siblings.
Well, actually 3.
Is it 3?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes, yes.
You said you currently work with about 20 to 30, it sounds like.
Yes. Right now, I think we have 20. Is it 21?
21.
Okay.
Okay. And looking, hopefully, you said something about 50 to
yes,
50
we're looking
this
to
summer.
spend 50. In your notebook, we actually have, in your file, a flyer that's going to be going out. This should be all the way in the back. So we're looking, this is our price that we're going to do this first year, as well as it's going to include 8 weeks in the summer. So it'll go from summer to summer.
So this is an annual price.
That's the annual.
Okay. Oh, okay, because when I looked at it, it looked like a summer price.
No,
It's
so,
for the
right.
Oh, okay.
after-school care
I
and the
was-
summer care
Right.
to an annual.
It's for the year round.
What, the number of kids you're looking to serve, is you noted, I don't know if I circled that, but can this facility hold?
Yes, it can.
They have a fellowship.
Right, yeah, I saw
That
that.
way, and then
Okay.
there's more on that side over there.
So with that, so all the turn expansion that you speak about is really around this facility?
That is
on
correct.
this, okay.
I think for now, and the hope would be that if that comes to fruition and it is as successful as we think it might be, that on the lower end of this neighborhood, that there might possibly be the identification of another facility
Right.
that we could be able to work with families and after-school care on that end. So it's really taking what Carrie has started here and trying to figure out a way to expand that so that it both builds the after-school care supply, but also because she does so much with the families, it really builds the parental skills around advocating for their children, which is really critical. And so we hope that the program could expand not only for children in this area, but be able then within the neighborhood of Place Matters neighborhood could set a second location up at the other end of the area.
Okay, question.
Yes, ma'am.
Excuse me. My question is, do you all have a sliding scale for the parents who can't afford to pay the full price?
At this time, we've not come up with the sliding scale, and I'll tell you why. The reason we started doing it now, because most of the tax money is coming in, but we do allow them to make payments. So if they can make a payment up until that date, then it's the $425 after that date, then it will go up. But if there are multiple children in a family, then we will definitely work with them in terms of a percentage off. Yes, ma'am.
To piggyback off what she said, do you see any opportunities for scholarships given through other organizations for some students who really need the program?
Mhm. If we are able to obtain funding, we're going to be doing some fundraising, so that will open up some other avenues for us to be able to do more things with them.
What about grants?
Right,
Grants that might also
Other
help.
grants.
Offset that as well, especially with looking into other sites, because we would have to have another person that will be able to be over that site as the program director. So we are looking into doing some other things and coming up with some other funds.
Because even for the children, we have the school-age children, but then we have the parents who have the 0 to 5. And
Right.
we know that the subsidy dollars are not enough for our community. So trying to figure out how, if there's a way, if parents need to pay someone, how do we make that happen? Because everybody's not going to do it for free, like Miss C. And so just try, if there's a $20 a week fee or a $30 a week, and in order to get state subsidy dollars, you have to be a licensed facility. So trying to figure out how we make that network viable is something else that we would be looking at.
And then as one of the parents was stating, the one I call grandma, she said, Miss C, when you really look at it, and we have to, one of the reasons we talked about making it a fee for service was because we have to help them understand you have to invest in your child. And as she was saying, she said, when I thought about it, it only came up to about $6 or $7 a week. And it's, for 10 months of having someone not to be bothered, with your child being at home alone or have that as a stressor. And that covers it all. That right now we're Monday through Thursday, but that's going to expand to Monday through Friday.
What are the hours?
During the summer, it will be from 7 to 5:30, and then after school is from 3 to 6.
How many members of, how large is your staff here?
Right now, we have Miss Shawn and Miss Hannah, and then we have, our children don't have options, so they have to volunteer, but we've also had volunteers to come from Wake Forest, and they come in, and we will be having, working with Winston-Salem State, the students from Winston-Salem State that's going to be coming in. But it's difficult for volunteers opposed to pay. So when we've had other ones, but they found jobs. So when they found jobs, then one of them said, "I'm working trying to get to second shift. If I can get to first shift, if I can get to first shift, Missy, I'll be back." So we kind of do it.
Four people, I think.
That's here on a consistent basis. Yes.
Okay, and then volunteers come
Mhm.
in to help with.
Well, we're all volunteers.
Right. Other additional volunteers.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So with the expansion that you guys are looking at, what are your plans or ideas in order to recruit additional volunteers? I know you said Winston State.
Mhm.
Do you have any other opportunities or areas? Did you say that you guys would possibly use residents in the area?
Yes.
We would love to use the residents, not just for volunteers, but also in the event that we obtain the funding to be able to pay residents. That's our other, and that's one of the reasons that we talked about having focus groups and finding out what's the needs, but also finding out what gifts and talents and skills that residents had so they can come in. Because we would need someone to do our breakfast. And unfortunately, I try, but I get to the point I can't do it all. And I understand that. So being able to bring someone else in would be extremely helpful, to be able to cook their breakfast and prepare their snacks. And one of the things that we were thinking of possibly doing this year is if we can't afford to have the lunch catered in, being able to get them to one of the local schools during the summertime for lunch. So, and we provide the breakfast and snacks.
We were thinking that with working with Carrie, if residents were interested in learning more about childcare and about how to do the care, then having the opportunity to come and work with Carrie would be a way to build skills in that after-school care program, which might then help them in looking for a position that is paid in another type of an after-school program. We had also talked about having younger, like older teenagers that could come in and be mentored in the care of children. With other types of care, the Kith and Kin care, and within the area there are child care programs. So arranging opportunities for residents that are interested in learning more about child care as a profession, having the opportunity to pair them with programs that we currently work with in this area so that they could learn more about what child care looks like as a profession. And you know, we have for a long time, many years, helped with licensing, but through that we've also helped people that were becoming licensed through Forsyth Tech and helping them get into coursework and expand their knowledge and their formal education related to early education and how one can use that either in working in a child care center or owning your own business as a family child care program.
This question is, have you all done a survey of your boundaries, the areas that you provide the service to? Have you done a survey on the communities to tap into their talents and skills, and then that way you'll have a database so you can really know who can do what?
That is something that we plan to do, part of this initial
But you haven't done it
process.
yet.
We haven't done it yet. So part of this process between when we would get funded and when we would be awarded a grant and when the funding would start would be the process of some focus groups and trying to survey and develop a database of talents. Because we think that there probably are many individuals that have gifts and knowledge and experience that they would like to share with the young people that are here at Turn, or perhaps with even younger children in other care situations, bringing residents together that are caring for children in play groups. And then there are those, I'm sure, that have music they want to share or want to read to young children or care for them in some way. So I think it's an opportunity to help build connections between residents that are currently maybe they don't have family close by, or they want the opportunity to give back into the neighborhood. So I think between the two programs, both in the work that's being done through Turn and the way that they are providing mentorship for these young people, there are many opportunities to bring residents in to help them learn accounting skills, or how to manage their checkbook, or how to prepare a meal. As well as when you bring together a group of caregivers who are caring for family or a neighbor, there might be individuals that would have, things to offer for that group to enrich the experiences that the children have, or with the caregivers themselves.
Okay, my next question.
Oh, okay. I want to add one more thing if I could. The other thing for us is that we hope to be able to hire somebody to staff this project who is from the neighborhood or who is from an area that is similar to this neighborhood. So going in and somebody who can be culturally responsive, somebody who's bilingual, or two people. I think we asked for a position and a half, and so just trying to figure out how we connect with the residents, and somebody who can go and talk and go to the barbershops and go to the laundromat and go to the convenience store, and who would feel comfortable in that setting. Not that Gina and I don't, but Gina and I are a little older, we're from a different place, and so we know all about, we have that, bring that expertise of early care and education and working with families from on all spectrums, income